Hi, in this video I'll explain other options for recording voices for two characters. If you don't have someone to record with you, but you still want the convenience of using the built-in recorder, then you could opt to try to just disguise your voice for your two characters. It would be the same process as I mentioned previously. You would go up to Window, Audio Recording, and you would start recording whatever the dialogue is and just try to sound different for each of the two characters. And then you could pitch shift a little bit to get a little bit more of a cartoon character sound. And then add to project, and then proceed adding the mouth poses as I demonstrated in the previous video. If you don't feel comfortable about trying to make your voice sound different for two different characters, then there is another option. You can use Audacity, which is the audio editor that we've covered a little bit earlier in this class. You would use the record button right here and record the dialogue in your normal voice, or you could disguise it just a little bit. So here's my recording right here in my normal voice. It's about 30 seconds worth of that same dialogue that you've seen in this animation I've been showing. So you can just make two copies of this right here and then pitch shift differently for each one. And this is how you do it. You can click right here once to select that, and then go up to Edit and Duplicate. So now you've got two of the same recording. And this is in stereo, so you're seeing the right and left channels for each copy. And I wouldn't know if yours recorded in stereo. It's fine if it didn't. If yours just recorded in mono, then you wouldn't be seeing four things, you'd be seeing two. Now I'd like to mute the bottom one just so that I don't get confused. Right here, there's a little button and it says mute, so push on that. And you'll see that grayed out the waveform. I'll focus on the one up top here now, and I'll silence the areas for one of the characters. So I'm going to say that this will only be the Charlie Brown voice, and I want to remove all of the little sections for the Lucy voice. Now we can't do a select and cut. We have to do a silence in the area where we want to remove the sound of the voice. So up here you would click on your selection tool, and I already know that right here is some of the Lucy voice, so I would just click and drag to select this chunk right here and go up to Generate, Silence, and click OK. So it took that waveform right out of there. So everywhere where I know that it's the Lucy voice, I have to select, Generate, Silence, and click OK. And when I'm done with that, all through this, then I would mute this one and go down here and unmute this one, and then remove the opposite waveforms from down here. And that would go more quickly because all I'd have to do is look up here and see wherever I have blank spaces and just get rid of the opposite. So I paused and I finished, and I've got the Charlie Brown voice sections here and the Lucy voice parts down here. So again, I'll focus just on the Charlie Brown voice, so I'll mute this one down here. And what I want to do is click, drag, and select there, and then go up here to Effect, choose Change Pitch. And then you can do whatever percent change. It usually doesn't take much. Okay, you can see right here the numbers can change when you pull this slide across. And so let's see, with Charlie Brown, I'd want to go with a voice a little bit lower, so say a -5.0. And I can even click on Preview to listen to a little bit of it. And then if I liked it, I could click OK and make the change, or try something a little different and click the Preview again. Okay. And then I can go over here to mute this one, and then go down to this one and select it starting right here so that I'd be able to hear the preview. and then go up to Effect, change Pitch, and change that to go a little higher than from 0, right? And then I can click Preview and see what it sounds like, and keep moving that until I like it, and then click OK. When you're finished pitch shifting for both of the voices, remember that you need to make sure both of them are now unmuted before you save this as an MP3 or a WAV file. So I need to go up here and click on the mute button to unmute this one. And of course, this one was already unmuted because it was the last one I worked on. Then I go up to File, Export Audio, and then give it some kind of a name and click Save. You'll probably get a message that your tracks are going to be mixed down to either 2 stereo channels or 1, whatever the case may be for you, but that's fine, and you can click OK. And then if you want to fill in anything there with the meta tags, you can, and click OK. And so now wherever you saved that, you'll be able to retrieve it to import it into the MOJO project. In MOJO, make sure you're at frame 0 to start out with, and in the Layers palette, click on New Layer, Audio, find the file that you just created, and click Open. And regardless of how you produce your audio file, remember that you want to start this a little bit late because you want to fade in for your animation. And remember that the way to do that is to click on the Sequencer tab and then scroll until you find the, there we are, there's my audio layer right here, and I can just drag it over. And that way I can start it back a ways, at least behind frame 48. And this first couple of seconds can be for the fade in before any voices start. So that was a way to create one audio file using just your voice and pitch shifting a little bit differently for the 2 character voices. We still have a bit more to talk about concerning lip sync and mouth poses and the final project, and I'll continue that in the next video.